Hello, Gore Whores. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 35 of the Gory Hole Podcast. My name is Jenny.
My name's Nikki.
Thank you for being here, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy VD.
Yep, happy VD. Happy venereal disease. We are going to talk all sorts of fun Valentine's stuff. We're going to talk some books to start off with. We got a little hot reads with cold Ethyl, get you in the mood.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got some other Valentine stuff we're going to do.
Awesome.
So, starting off, I guess I did kind of a thing. I started a bookstagram.
Ooh.
I guess.
Okay.
I decided just because it helps me kind of keep track of what I got read, and I'm going for 100 in 2025. So
how many have you read so far?
10.
Okay.
So not bad.
You're off to a great start.
I think so.
Yeah.
And so it is the Bungalow Library.
Ooh,
That
cute.
is the name of my Instagram page that has all my books and what I think of them.
Okay.
So if you want to follow along and see what I'm reading, because maybe not all of them are probably podcast worthy, but all the ones that are, I will bring up on here.
Well, my goal is to have a cool little Jenny's Book Club sound clip at one of these next episodes we record.
Yes, that'll be fun.
So go along with it.
Jenny's Book Club is a thing now.
Yes,
and
it's up and running.
Yes, last time I told you I was reading Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I think a few episodes has kind of gone by since I finished it, but we're going to talk about it today, and I'm also going to let you know what I'm currently reading. Actually, we're going to start with that because I got a lot to say about Lights Out.
Bring it on.
Jenny's current book club choice is Margo's Got Money Troubles.
Okay.
This book is so far hilarious.
Cool.
It's very unique. So I'm a ways in.
Like
almost halfway.
Half. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the premise of this.
Okay.
Or I'm going to skim through it.
Okay.
It is about, Margo is the child of a Hooters waitress and ex-pro wrestler. And
I like it.
so she's always known she'd have to make it on her own. At junior college, she has an affair with her English professor.
Hot.
And gets pregnant.
Oh, not hot.
Despite everyone's advice, she decides to keep the baby.
Okay.
Just because she has a yearning for something bigger in her life.
Okay.
So at age 20, she's alone with an infant on the verge of eviction and needs cash fast. Her estranged father shows up at her doorstep and moves in. But Margo's plan to help her money problems is starting an OnlyFans as an experiment.
Cool.
So she finds herself adapting to her dad's advice from the world of wrestling and making a compelling character and making her audience fall in love with her. So it is hilarious. It talks a lot about wrestling. I'm not a huge wrestling person, but I did understand some of the references that they make.
Wait, so the dad helps her start an OnlyFans?
She starts it, then tells him about it.
Okay.
Because I got to that part.
Okay.
And at first he's kind of like, no, don't do that. But he's also like her estranged father.
Okay.
So he's not like, no daughter of mine's going to do that. He's just like, that's not a good idea.
Okay.
But then later he's like, well, I kind of use my body to make money because he was a wrestler. And he's like, I guess it's not really that different. And because he's like, you're not having sex with anybody. So he's like, let me help you make a character.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at so far.
Cool.
It's really funny.
Okay.
So I will give you guys a full review when I finish it.
Sweet. Okay.
But if you would like to read Margo's Got Money Troubles, I do think the cover is pretty.
It's cute.
Cover art is good.
Yeah.
If you would like to read it, email in thegoryholepod@gmail.com. Let me know what you think.
Hell yeah.
So this is the current book club choice.
I love it.
It is not necessarily a dirty one, but it's definitely
It sounds racy.
It's immature. It's funny.
Nice.
It's got a lot of dick humor in it.
Love dick humor.
Lots of boob humor. I mean, it's good. So that is current book club.
Awesome.
But now we are going to talk about Lights Out.
Okay.
So
Tell me.
Cordelia was one who emailed in saying we should read it, and I had just bought it.
Yeah.
Number one, I love the cover.
Mm-hmm.
The cover is great. Such good. That would be a cool tattoo. Actually, it's like a blue skull with an X and a heart. So the premise: we have a trauma nurse, Allie. And she has a kink following masked men online.
Who doesn't know?
Yeah, she's into it.
Okay.
And she has one in particular that she really likes.
Okay.
So Josh is the guy that she is following on TikTok and comments like how much she loves him and everything. He is actually a friend of a guy that she dated.
Okay.
So they know each other. And he starts stalking her because he's into her.
Nice.
And he kind of thinks like, well, she's into this whole like masked dude, like being all creepy and stuff. Maybe she'll like it in real life. And she does. She does. At first she's mad, but she likes it.
Okay.
But then like there's some twists and turns in here. There's an accidental murder. They get accidentally tied up with the mob. And so it has an exciting story and some crazy sex scenes.
Ooh. Okay.
Crazy ones.
Okay.
There is an edging scene, which that's new. I haven't read an edging scene in a book yet. Not really.
I don't think you've read one here.
Not here.
You haven't talked about it.
But even on like any of
On
my
your own?
books. I don't think there's ever been one that was just focused on that.
Okay. Hot.
There is knife play.
Okay.
There is a part where he stabs a knife into the mattress and then she rides it. So the handle is like inside of her.
At least no one's getting stabbed.
No.
Like that other fucking weird scene.
Right. I know where to stab myself so I won't die.
You gotta stitch me up or I'm gonna die soon.
Stupid Diesel.
Borf.
I hate that dude. His name burned into my brain too for how much I hate him. There's lots of like mask play in here.
Okay.
She makes him sound fucking hot.
Okay.
He's tall. He's got tattoos. There's a scene where she gives him a blowjob in the car and accidentally stabs him in the hand.
How does that happen?
Okay, so he shows up at her work. Okay. So he's at her work. He gets in her car. He warms up her. She doesn't know who it is yet.
Okay.
She just knows this masked dude is like stalking her.
Oh, so he like acts like he's actually stalking her.
Yeah, but he also does like nice things for her.
Okay.
I know it's silly.
Okay.
There's like a blizzard or something, and he shows up to her work and warms up her car for her, and he's like in the driver's seat, and she's like, "No, get the fuck out of my car!" And he like gives her a gun and a knife just to be like, "Look, you're in all the control. I just want to drive you home because it's dangerous out." That's basically what happens, and then she's just like, kind of want to see his dick.
Like, okay, whip your
I
dick
kind of
out.
want to suck his dick. And then, but she's still holding the knife to like protect herself and then accidentally stabs him in the hand.
Oh, wow.
So it was an accident.
Accidentally stabs him in the hand. Like what?
I know.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot that was happening. And so it's hard to describe without like reading the whole thing for you.
Okay, I believe you. Okay.
They end up together. Spoiler.
Okay.
I told everybody a while ago I was reading this, so you had your chance. And the scene that Nikki chose, I gave her options of what she would want.
What were my options? Butt plug,
knife,
edging,
and
chase.
Chasing through the woods.
I thought chasing was different enough from everything else we've talked about.
Chasing through the woods is a good one.
That
is pretty unique.
That's where I went. And
then
I figured
we haven't read a butt plug yet, have we? Have we?
I don't know. Maybe we have.
It's possible.
I don't fucking know. But I figured you'll probably read other scenes at another time.
Yeah.
So
we'll
I
hear them all back
at some point.
There's good scenes in this book.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I need to give you a rating before we get to hot reads, right? Yeah. Okay. Bags of Diarrhea, out of 10. Lights Out, Navessa Allen. I would say 8.
Ooh. Okay.
It's good. It's
nice.
Funny. Sex scenes are hot.
Okay.
Some of them are a little weird, but they're still hot. The story is exciting.
Sure.
There's a cute cat in it.
Ooh.
His name is Fred, and he loves her cat.
Oh.
And the cat loves him,
Nothing
too.
bad happens to the cat.
Nothing bad happens to the cat.
Okay,
Even at the end, they end up getting another cat.
Okay.
Lots of cats. There's a lot of kitty love in this book. So yeah, I think Gore Whores, I think you guys will like it. It's really, really good. So the scene we decided on, I'll give you a little. Oh, do you want to play the thing?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then we can do it.
Yeah. I almost forgot.
I almost did too.
Hot reads with cold Ethyl.
I love it. So catchy. The scene we chose was the chasing scene. So this is actually towards the end. They're already, like, she knows who he is. They're boyfriend, girlfriend, and serious at this point.
They're BFGF.
Yep.
Okay.
Something she tells him that she wants to try is that she wants to be chased through the woods and fucked.
Okay.
That's like something she fantasizes about.
Okay.
It's funny. Basically how he wins is he has to catch her and put his dick in her, and then he wins. If she can get away, she wins.
So is it like a rape fantasy or just like chasing?
Kind of
Like she's gonna fight him.
Consent.
Right, but
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
she's gonna try
no,
to
she's
fight
gonna
him
try
off?
to fight him
Okay,
off. So it's
okay.
kind of a R
a
word,
catch and
a rape fantasy,
an
sort
R
of.
word,
R
fantasy.
word.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Soft,
sometimes
a
forget.
lowercase r.
Lowercase
Okay.
R, yeah.
Okay.
It's a fantasy. It's fine.
Okay.
It's consensual.
If it's consensual,
Yep.
yeah, sure,
and they're
sure,
just
sure.
playing, but
Sure.
You'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Let me find. You did play the. Yes. Sorry.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Sorry. I just want to find the exact moment.
Excuse
Hold,
me.
please.
Holding. Wait. That's a good one.
I just want to. I don't want to necessarily like read you just like them running. I want to get to like
The good
decent
stuff.
kind of. Okay.
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 All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
I glanced behind me. Shit, I must have gotten off the main path somehow and ended up on a game trail. Doubling back would have cost me precious minutes I couldn't spare, so I forged onward, following what looked like another game trail that ran parallel to the ravine and farther up the hill. I had to slow down because of how close it skirted to the ledge. One wrong step could send me tumbling over, and I took heart in the knowledge that if I had to be careful, so would Josh. His name is Josh, if I didn't say that, by the way.
That's kind of boring. Josh.
I think Josh is kind of a hot name.
Okay.
I don't know. I just assume somebody named Josh is kind of sexy.
No, I have a
but I
cousin
guess
named
now
Josh.
anybody named Josh is probably at least 45.
I have a cousin named Josh and it ruins it.
Oh, okay. You want me to call him something else?
No, go ahead.
Okay. As much as I didn't want to lose, part of me couldn't wait for him to catch up so the chase could start for real. He had given me a 5-minute head start. To be sporting, he'd claimed. He'd grown up in the boonies, after all. Some of his fondest memories were bonding with his stepfather during their camping trips. Rob was a country boy through and through, and Josh had learned a ton from him about tracking animals and how to survive if he ever got lost in the wilderness. I didn't know anything about bushcraft, but I did have 2 advantages on my side, speed and endurance. I'd been a sprinter on my track team in high school, making it to the state championship my senior year. I'd spent past 3 months skipping the gym 2 days a week to go to a local track instead. She put in the work for this fantasy.
Wow.
I remember reading that at the time and being like, I don't know if I'd want to train
That's
for a
dedication.
fantasy. That is dedication.
Yeah, man.
I alternated between sprint and distance running, pushing myself to the max because I had no desire to make this easy on him. Yes, I longed to be hunted down and fucked in the forest, but I wanted the full experience more than anything. I wanted the chase. I wanted to make Josh earn the right to claim me. From the hungry gleam that entered his eyes, whenever we discussed our plans leading up to today, he wanted that just as much as I did, and I couldn't wait for him to let his darker side out to play. We didn't have many rules, but the rules we agreed on were ironclad, and if either of us broke them, we forfeited. First and foremost, there was no cheating. We had GPS trackers on us in case we got lost.
Oh.
And promised not to check them unless an hour passed without Josh finding me. Dirty play was forbidden as well. We couldn't throw sand in each other's eyes or set booby traps. Not that I would even know how to go about doing that. The last rule was that only penetration counted as a catch. If Josh caught up to me, I could still win if I managed to keep his dick out of me until time ran out.
Wow.
On paper, it towed the line of dubious consent, but I was more than into it. So maybe it was more like con dub con. Okay, I don't know. Plus, Josh was adamant that all I had to do was tell him to stop and he would, just like always. That was like one of like a key phrase in the book too, was no safe words.
Okay.
That was like their rule. Every time they were playing, they would look at each other and be like, no safe words, no safe words. And then they'd go at it.
But so all she says is stop and
Yeah.
he stops?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Part of me hoped it came to a knockdown, drag-out fight for dominance. I loved the idea of him physically overpowering me, and we had so much fun with orgasm denial and edging that trying to keep him off of me would only make me wetter for him. Not that I wasn't already soaked. I'd been primed and ready to go since the second I stepped into the trees. turning to blow a goodbye kiss at Josh and telling him not to go easy on me just because I made him feel weird in the tummy. He barked a laugh and told me to run. The side of his eyes darkening with desire sent me sprinting into the woods. Initially, I wanted to do this at night to really play into the scary vibes, but we decided it was too dangerous. The risk of tripping over something and either spraining an ankle or knocking ourselves out just wasn't worth it. A sound pulled me from my lustful thoughts. I spent a heart-stopping moment thinking Josh had found me, but it was only a squirrel fleeing up the side of a nearby tree. I refocused my full attention on the narrow path, breathing a sigh of relief as I started to veer away from the ravine and widen enough I was able to put on more speed. I'm going to skip ahead a little. She ran away. I paused a second to catch my breath and make sure I hadn't pulled anything. When it seemed like I had escaped unharmed, I took off again, lifting my watch to check the time. I nearly yelped when I saw that I had been in the woods for a quarter of an hour. The timer officially started when Josh entered, so technically we were now halfway through the hunt. He'd been on my trail for the past 10 minutes, and even though I hadn't seen or heard him, I couldn't shake the thought that he was gaining on me. The man was huge. We worked out together enough in his apartment's gym to know that he was fast for his size. I regularly drooled over the side of him, sprint pushing a 300-pound sled from one end of the gym to the other. I could only imagine how much faster he'd be without all that weight holding him back. I strained my ears and started to be more careful about where I placed my feet, avoiding as many sticks as possible whenever I thought about forests. I always imagined them being full of birdsong, but it was eerily quiet so deep in the trees. Last year's fallen leaves littered the trail, crunching beneath my heels. The upside was that if I was being loud, someone who outweighed me by nearly 100 pounds was probably being louder. But I'd long since learned lesson about underestimating my boyfriend, so my senses remained on high alert, waiting for some warning that he was nearby. Good thing we hadn't done this at night because it was unnerving enough in broad daylight. My heart thundered in my chest. Adrenaline pumped through my veins, urging me onward and up and over a rock fall where I had to grab onto saplings to pull myself forward. Why the hell did I choose this route? The hunt was becoming less of a run and more of a hike. While my endurance was great on flat ground, my legs were already starting to burn from exertion. It made me feel even more unbalanced, jumpy, and nervous, like a rabbit with a fox on her heels. Okay, she climbs a tree looking for him. Didn't see him. I slowed to a quick walk, graceful for soft needles carpeting the forest floor, silencing my step. The time for speed had passed. Now it was time for stealth. With any luck, I'd be able to hear Josh coming and either hide or take off down the mountain, letting gravity do most of the work. I might have been prey, but I was smart prey, and I was going to make my predator work to catch me. A sharp snap echoed through the trees. I turned around and nearly screamed. Josh was less than 100 feet behind me with a broken stick in his hands. I wasn't proud of it, but he had caught me so off guard that I froze. Where the fuck did he come from? He stepped toward me out of a cluster of shadows, looking huge and ominous in his dark clothing. Had he gotten bigger since I'd last seen him? His biceps strained against the sleeves of his tee. Corded muscle climbed up his arms. Like me, he wore running pants to protect his legs from getting scratched. Yeah, he'd definitely gotten bigger. I bought that t-shirt for him 2 months ago, and it strained across his chest. He'd either gained weight or it shrunk in the wash. The son of a bitch wasn't even breathing hard. He managed to sneak up on me so soundlessly that he intentionally broke a stick, giving me a sporting chance. As I watched, he tossed it aside, a victorious grin splitting his handsome face. It felt like he was mocking me. Oh, hell fuck no. Like a shot, I was off. I was as annoyed as I was afraid. I'd gone through all that trouble to make this good for the both of us, and that bastard found me the second I stopped running. His laughter chased me through the forest. Oh, no, you don't, Josh called, his feet pounding against the ground as he gave chase. Despite how hard I was pushing myself, I heard him gaining on me. It was tempting to glance over my shoulder and check how close he was, but I was worried that slowing down would... skip. Sorry, I didn't realize how long the chase part was. Fucking run, bitch, I told myself, pushing through the pain. A masculine growl hit my ears as I approached the scrub brush. Holy shit, was I gonna make it? My gaze snagged on a barely there game trail bisecting the dense thicket, so narrow it had probably been made by rabbits. It was the only way through I saw. I didn't have time to look for another route. Here goes nothing, and I plunged straight into it. When does he get her? My breast felt full inside my sports bra, longing for Josh's touch. Despite my renewed efforts to win, my body was prepared to lose, turning supple and pliant. I burst out the other side of the thicket into the sunlight and angled downhill. Josh would lose seconds circumnavigating it, seconds that I planned to use to my advantage. He couldn't catch me, not yet. She's taking her sweet time. Okay, here we go. A dark shape tore out of the trees to my left, and this time I really did scream as Josh plowed into my side, tackling me around the waist like a goddamn middle linebacker. I told him not to go easy on me, and fuck did I regret it now. All the air in my lungs burst out of my mouth in a rush as we went down. He managed to turn mid-air, taking the brunt of the fall when we landed, but it still hurt like a son of a bitch. Rocks bit into my skin. My head bounced off the ground. Shit, Josh groaned. Allie, are you? I slammed my elbow into his stomach. He wheezed, his arms loosening around me. I struggled free from him and scrambled to my feet. So she runs. Josh grabbed me with a vicious yank and pulled my leg out from under me, and I went pinwheeling forward. Motherfucker! I slammed it to the ground, catching most of my weight on my hands and knees. I didn't let the pain slow me, twisting onto my back as Josh dragged me toward him. He looked both pissed off and turned on, and it set my pulse racing. I had to get up, but God, the temptation to give in was strong. Sorry, baby, I thought, lifting my free leg. Josh's beautiful brown eyes flashed wide when he realized I was about to kick him in the chest. So she kicks him in the chest. I was halfway through breaking his hold when he grabbed the back of my head and hauled me forward, crashing his mouth into mine. It was almost my undoing. My body recognized him as its main supplier of orgasms.
Wow.
Sex hormones rushed into my veins, my hypothalamus giddily triggering the flood. Despite my desire to get away, my lips popped open on instinct, welcoming him inside. He swirled his tongue against mine, backing me against a tree. I moaned into his mouth, clawing at his shirt as I pulled him closer. His erection pressed into my belly, long and hard, and shit, what was I doing? I stomped on his foot, he swore, and I fled. No, don't think of him, I told myself. Thoughts of him aren't welcome. The sound of rushing water told me the stream was just ahead. He's about to fuck her, just FYI. It came into sight a second later, looking wider than where I'd first crossed it. That was okay. I was moving so fast I was sure I could vault it again. Trouble was, Josh was even faster. The snap of a stick told me he was only inches away from before his fingers snagged the back of my shirt. I twisted, breaking free, but his momentum carried into me. His big arms banded around my waist, and we stumbled, feet tangling, and fell straight into the goddamn water. Cold. Fuck, it was cold. Though it was barely a foot deep, I felt like I'd been dumped into an Arctic lake. The brook must have started high up in the mountains where white was still capped at the tallest peaks. I came up sputtering, my mouth full of water. Ew. If I contracted Giardia, I was never going to forgive Josh
for having...
having...
fucking thing I thought of was Giardia.
For having such shitty timing. He grabbed my ankle and hauled me toward him. My ass hit about a dozen river rocks along the way. I tried to kick him, but he snatched my other foot out of midair, fingers clamping down and biceps straining as he fought to keep me still. His show of strength was impressive as hell. I had to get away or I was done for. I stopped fighting him and surged forward instead. He wasn't expecting it. I plowed straight into his chest, knocking him backwards into the water. His hands popped loose, and I started to scramble away, only for him to grab my pant leg and tear a huge hole in it as he dragged me back down. More splashing ensued as he tried to get a hold of my slippery flesh, and I tried to get the hell away from him. We must have looked ridiculous, like two lost salmon flopping around as they attempted to unravel the mystery of which way was upstream. That's a pretty good descriptor. Thank God this section of the forest was far enough away from civilization that we were the only humans around for miles. Okay. I managed to slip free from Josh long enough to flip onto my front and scramble forward on all fours. I barely made it to the muddy edge of the brook before I was tackled again. This time Josh put all of his weight into me, flattening me like a pancake. I floundered beneath him, trying to throw him off. But between the slimy mud and the fact he was well over 200 pounds, it was a lost cause. He managed to grab both of my wrists in record time and pin them over my head, holding them in place with one oven mitt-sized hand. Shit, I was going to lose. A dozen jiu-jitsu moves flashed through my head, but each one could cause serious injury. And as much as I wanted to win, I could never bring myself to hurt Josh. Nor could he, I realized. Still, I wasn't ready to give up, so I bucked my hips sideways, trying to throw him off. He dug his fingers into the hole of my pants and ripped forward, tearing them to my waist. My underwear got yanked aside. She uses underwear, by the way, not panties.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And I had just enough time to realize what was happening before he surged into me with a brutal thrust. I cried out, both from surprise and relief. Josh froze behind me, tension in every line of his body. Are you done fighting, or do you want me to give you another chance? He ended the question by rocking his hips forward, showing me what I'd be missing if I made the wrong decision.
Wait, didn't he already penetrate her?
Yeah, he was going to let her go and let her run
Oh,
again.
okay. But he won.
He won.
Okay.
He was going to give her another second chance, though.
Okay.
You're soaked, Allie, he said, his
Ew.
voice rough with lust. Did you like being hunted? Yes, I moaned. You like getting run down like prey? Yes. Spread those legs for me then.
Ew.
Show me how much you like getting caught. Make me. It's a long scene. He fucks her doggy style in the water.
In the cold water?
Yeah. And then he says, I love you, and then he proposes to her.
Oh, wow.
The end.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, it was a long scene. I probably should have picked the etching scene. It's a little shorter.
That's okay.
Surprisingly.
Nice. Okay, I just had a few things.
Okay, let's hear it.
It really wasn't bad as far as
Her writing,
cringy.
she does
Yeah,
pretty good.
It wasn't bad. The first thing she talked about was like no dirty play or whatever, no sand in the eyes or anything.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like that is very not sexy. Like,
Yeah.
why would you even need to say that?
Right.
If you're like, I got you, bitch, threw sand in her face,
Right.
and then like trying to get her.
Throw mud in their eyes.
Yeah,
or...
okay, that was just funny. And then I didn't like that she said that she was soaked, primed, and ready to go.
Primed is a weird word to use.
I don't like that.
I didn't care for that either.
Primed and ready to go.
Yeah.
No.
That's pretty gross.
No. Okay. And then she made a comment that her breasts felt full.
Yeah.
Are you lactating?
Right.
Are you engorged?
Right.
That's not a thing you say.
No.
That's a weird thing to say.
I agree.
I thought it was funny that she called him her main supplier of orgasms.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I thought
funny.
that was it's a really funny book. It
Yeah.
really is.
Good.
She makes a lot of comments too about like her ovaries throwing eggs at him when she sees him and stuff.
Wow.
Like she's like, I don't want kids, but my body doesn't seem to get it. My ovaries are throwing eggs at him as he walks towards me and stuff like that. She says
Wow.
a lot of things about how he's like gonna like mentally make her pregnant and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
because he's so hot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very humorous.
Yeah. It sounds good. And I really like the underwear and not.
I did notice that reading it, and
That's
I made a
nice.
mental note.
That's very nice.
I had made a mental note at the time, but I forgot. It wasn't a very good
appreciate
mental
that
note
about her.
But yeah, she usually says underwear. She didn't. It's very rare for the word. I don't even know if the word panties is in there. And honestly, if it is,
perfect.
it's probably him saying it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and I think you would like it. I really do.
It sounds like I would.
Yeah,
Okay.
the knife scene is a little weird, but
Sure.
it's not bad.
Okay.
Overall, and even there isn't even like that many scenes in here.
Okay.
I think there's maybe 4 or 5
Okay.
total.
Okay.
It's not sex through the whole thing.
Okay.
There actually is like a good
solid
story with it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. All right.
All right.
I liked it.
Should we-
Wait, what mask is he wearing during that scene?
I
don't think you
the
said that.
chasing scene?
Yeah.
He's not wearing one.
Oh,
At that point.
okay.
No.
But that's just like what she.
They were already.
They were trying to role play that, and
Yeah.
Okay. He
Yep.
wasn't even wearing a mask.
Nope, no mask.
Okay.
The edging scene, he has the mask on.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll have to wait
And
for
the
that
knife scene.
one. Okay.
I don't think he does in the butt plug scene. I don't think so. I think that might have been the first time he did
Okay.
have it on.
Okay.
Maybe,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you read those to me, we'll find out.
Yeah, and for a while he keeps like he tries to hide his identity from her. So I
Okay.
don't know. I kind of think it's funny that he like slept with it on and stuff.
He slept with it on?
Yeah, he drives with it on.
Okay.
He has like a little voice modulator that makes him
Oh,
sound like this, so
that's
she won't
silly.
recognize.
That's silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after she stabs his hand and he has to like actually see her like in person, he wears like gloves to like try to hide it and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
She figures it out like instantly when
Okay.
she's like, dude, I'm not stupid.
Okay.
Like it looks just like you. Come on. Come on.
Okay.
I know it's you.
Okay.
All right, should we move on to Valentine's stuff?
let's do it.
Okay. So, it's my topic this week.
Mm-hmm.
I found some articles of like Valentine's horror stories, let's say, or Valentine's Day gone wrong. And I have a few saved here, so we can kind of just read through some, throw in some thoughts,
Okay.
and when it gets to being too long, we'll stop.
Okay.
All right. So, first one I'm going to start with is BuzzFeed
Okay.
had some list of Valentine's Days gone wrong, and none of them are like super long.
Okay.
So. And we'll skip over the ones that are super long because that chasing scene wore me out.
Okay.
So my ex-boyfriend, we dated for 8 months, pulled a "my grandma's in the hospital" card to dodge our Valentine's Day plans. Plot twist: there was no sick grandma, just a guy too chicken to say he wanted out. The revelation came courtesy of my aunt who worked with his dad.
Oh,
So that sucks.
shitty.
That is a pretty shitty Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Each Valentine's Day during the first 10 years of marriage, my husband would always send me a beautiful bouquet of roses and a lovely card. On this particular Valentine's Day, I received another bouquet of roses and a letter. The problem with the letter was it was addressed to another woman.
Oh.
It had information about their relationship and when they were going to meet up next.
Oh.
And the woman was a longtime friend of mine since like junior high school. Marriage over, friendship over. I was done.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's stupid. I think he wanted to be caught.
probably. Right?
It's really
Seriously, you would
stupid.
think you'd be a little more careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. I'd been seeing a man for 5 months on Valentine's Day. He lived an hour away, but also worked away Monday through. Wait a minute. Hang on. That doesn't make sense. I've been seeing a man for 5 months. He lived an hour away, but also worked away Monday through Friday. Okay. Or so I thought.
Mm-hmm.
He left my house as normal to go to work with no mention of Valentine's Day. He was a love bomber, so I was expecting big things. He never had signal when he worked away, so it wasn't unusual to not hear from him. Wow, as I'm writing this, I can see the red flags. Anyway, that night I got a text from him saying, "Hope the food's on, I won't be long." I got excited thinking he was coming over and hadn't gone to work, so I tried calling him. His phone went to voicemail. This carried on for 3 days. He eventually texted to say he wouldn't be home that weekend as the work was good. I found out some serious snooping that he was on a Tinder date and had arranged a first date with someone at her house on Valentine's Day, and he hadn't left.
Oh. Stupid.
Yeah, douche.
Douche.
One Valentine's Day, instead of going out, we went to his neighbor's funeral because he claimed he was very close with him. That was weird because at this point we had been dating a year and a half and I had never heard of this guy who was 40 plus years older than him. Anyway, we go to his place afterwards and he tries to guilt me into hooking up because he's so upset.
That's it?
That's not that bad. It's weird, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's weird, but I don't think it's a horrible thing.
okay.
Okay. My husband and I wanted to do something simple. I just ran to the grocery store to get everything to make at-home ice cream sundaes. I had an itch in my ear, so went into the bathroom when we got home to use a Q-tip. I know. That's what it says. Husband comes barreling into the bathroom and accidentally hits my arm, pushing the Q-tip into my ear, and it immediately starts gushing blood.
Ew.
We spent the rest of the evening in the ER. And the following Valentine's Day, I also ended up in the ER. So ever since then, our goal is to just not be in the hospital on Valentine's Day.
Good goal.
Yeah, that is a good goal. Okay. My boyfriend of over a year said he had planned a whole afternoon, so I got all dressed up. He texted to say he was leaving home and on his way. Several hours later, he had never shown up. I tried to call, text, blah, blah, blah. No response. I was afraid something had happened and he had gotten in a wreck or something. I was terrified, calling, driving towards his house, still nothing from anyone, and I was distraught. Finally, maybe 8 to 10 hours later, I got a text from his mother telling me to leave her son alone.
What the fuck?
He didn't want anything to do with me anymore, and if I tried to contact him again, she would get a restraining order. He broke up with me, but not actually, and never heard from him again.
Wow. Okay.
He was probably like, "Mommy, she's psycho. Can you get rid of her?"
Wow.
Just break up with people if you don't like them. Like, just do it. Why are so many? I feel like I read stories like this all the time of like a dude being too scared to break up, so he does something like crazy.
I think I'd be very relieved to be rid of that person.
Right? All right. Brand new boyfriend and our first Valentine's Day. He slept all day and decided he needed a haircut at the last minute. Went to someone he wasn't familiar with, and she messed up his hair. He then goes to his regular barber to get it corrected, and by this time it's 6 o'clock and he hasn't even showered. He showed up to my house 2 hours late, no flowers, no candy, no gift. I was still excited to have dinner with him, but by the time we arrived at the restaurant, they were packed with couples, and we end up at a dive bar eating buffet quality food, and it was a foreshadowing of what our entire relationship ended up being. It's not horrible, though. I mean, that sucks, but it's not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. This one's not too long. Okay. It was my first Valentine's Day with my new girlfriend. I had very little money as I was working only part-time, but I remembered she had mentioned she liked a specific brand of bubble bath. So I bought her the bubble bath and a nice card and wrapped them up specially for her. We went out for our special Valentine's dinner, and in the middle of the dinner, she broke up with me. And she deliberately did it in public so I wouldn't cry or anything. When it came time to pay, she suddenly discovered she left her wallet in the car and left and stuck me with the bill.
Rude.
Right?
I wonder if they kept the bubble bath.
I would have. I hope so. All right, so I'm going to move on to another one. This is from graceandstella.com. Let's see. Oh, this one's kind of a funny one.
Okay.
Because I did read this one ahead of time. So this is Adam's very shitty experience, literally.
Okay.
I was dating a girl who was best friends with my ex. The ex had said it was okay for us to date, so we thought everything was cool. I had broken up with my ex around New Year's, and this was around middle of February. I also loved my ex's dog, Pluto. And I would go running with the little guy every other weekend. That's actually how we met. She was out walking the dog, and I was out running. So this was Valentine's in 2008 or 2009. I remember it fell on a weekend, so I messaged my ex and said I wanted to take Pluto for a run. She replied something like, "Sorry, he's busy today." I thought she was purposely not letting me take him for a run because it was Valentine's Day, so I just ignored her. Later that evening, my date and I were out for dinner at a local Italian restaurant. After a nice big meal, we returned back to my place, and I found dog poop spread over half of my bed sheets, with one rose that looks like it was 40 years old, and a card lying on the other half of the bed, which read, "This is what Pluto was busy doing today."
Wow.
It turned out she was livid that I was dating her best friend. Since then, I have learned not to date an ex's best friend or to give spare keys to my house to any girlfriend.
It's probably a good call.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that one was an interesting one. Okay, so some of these are from vice.com.
Okay.
Sorry, floating. Yeah, keep the farts coming. Sorry, I don't know why this is taking so long to load. I'm trying to also make sure they're not too long. Okay, I'm ready. This one says, I woke up next to my Valentine's date. She said her husband was on his way home. I had gone to meet a girl for Valentine's dinner, but there were red flags early on. When I went for a cigarette, she said, "It better not be drugs." I don't know.
Someone's hurt her before.
Right? And then she started talking about her husband, which surprised me because I thought she was single. I was very unsure, but we ended up going back to her house anyways.
Okay.
She had awkward energy when we got back, so I helped us I helped us both to a bottle of red wine from the fridge. When I opened it, the contents went flying everywhere, including all over her very new, very white sofa. She went ballistic, screaming and shouting and demanding I buy her a new sofa. Weirdly, we ended up having sex anyways, but I woke up to the news that her husband was coming home and was not pleased about his sofa. I was freaking out, so I chucked what money I had on the kitchen table and ran for it. They were both probably fuming, but at least I got out before he got back.
This person's stupid and deserved that.
I think so too. Yeah. Like,
Staying
what are you
there
doing?
for.
Like, what are you doing all that for?
Yeah.
Like, get out.
Uh-huh.
You had your opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, I went on a first date to a bar on Valentine's Day, and the guy was just awful. He kept answering his phone instead of talking to me because apparently he had clients in the U.S. and a big business deal to sort in L.A. His massive watch gave me the ick, too. It wasn't going well, but he tried to be flattering. At one point, he said, "It's cheesy to meet on Valentine's Day, but it could be a cute story to tell people about how we met." That right there would probably be like, no. There were 3 young waiters at the bar, and when my date went for yet another phone call, one of them said, "We all think you're too good for him." We decided to do something if he left the table again. After the 3rd phone call, I told the waiters I was done with this shit. One of them stood near the terrible date to check that he wasn't coming back, and the other 2 snuck me out of the back door of the restaurant, like celebrities trying to avoid photographers.
That's nice.
Yeah, good for them.
That's nice. I thought they were going to try to like pick her up.
That's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah.
This one says he got my name tattooed on his chest.
No.
He approached me in a bar. He was 2 years younger at the time, in his early 20s. I didn't have the skills to put up healthy boundaries, so I often ended up speaking to people even if I didn't particularly want to. At first, I thought I'd be polite, but as I kind of felt almost sorry for them. But eventually, I just wanted them to leave me alone. We never dated properly and just went out for a couple of meals. My friend persuaded me that if I met them one last time, he would leave me alone, which in hindsight was very naive of me. I met him, and that's when he showed me he got my name tattooed on his chest as a present for me for Valentine's Day. When I said I didn't like it, he took that as rejection and got angry and posted loads of fake stuff about me all over the internet.
That's a psycho.
Yeah. I actually felt physically sick that they had taken something very personal from me by having my name tattooed on his chest. I felt that in some way he had part of me on him. In fact, it upset me so much that years later, I changed my name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
What's
right.
with the pronouns changing?
I know. I was starting to
They,
wonder
he.
maybe they were like a non-binary person,
Yeah,
but
but
then
then
it kind of jumped.
Then they said he.
I know. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
All right.
This one says, I spent 6 hours in the cinema plucking up the courage to finger my girlfriend.
Wow. 6 hours? What the fuck were they
I
doing?
don't know. I went to this. I like they're saying cinema instead of movies. I don't know why.
Well, they're probably European.
Yeah. I went to the cinema when I was 14 or 15, and we watched My Bloody Valentine, the 3D film about murderous coal miners. I fingered the girl I was with in the back row because it's what you did in those days. But I didn't enjoy it because I'm gay. I was still trying to be straight and was in denial.
Oh.
We kissed, but nothing else happened during the first film. So we booked to see another film straight after.
Okay.
It took me nearly 6 hours of films to pluck up the courage to use the finger. It was probably just as awful for her as it was for me. But it got both of us creds when we told our friends at school the next day. Okay.
Okay.
And let's see if there's any good ones on. Okay, actually, I think this one, I probably should have actually started with this one. Sorry. This is from Gonzaga. I think it's like college students at Gonzaga wrote a bunch of Valentine's horror stories.
Okay.
Let's see. This might be TMI, but honestly, it's a really good life lesson. Essentially, the story goes, I tested positive for an STI on Valentine's Day a couple years ago, which, yeah, would normally be embarrassing and kind of funny since it's Valentine's Day and a normal person would just treat it and move on. But that is not what happened to me. I was mainly just really confused on how it could have occurred since my boyfriend and I were each other's first. And I had been tested before. So long story short, I brought it up to him and found out he cheated on me with this other girl and he didn't know she had it and then proceeded not to let me know. Basically the worst Valentine's Day ever. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, got one more. Our Valentine's Day date was basically one of the first times we hung out. I was really ready to hang out with him because he wanted to go in the hot tub at his house, and the new bathing suit I got for the occasion was really cute. We go in, and I'm feeling really cute, and the thing is, I also get overheated really fast. When we finally got out of the tub, I felt extremely dizzy, and I knew it was coming, and I passed out in his basement, fully moist from the tub and everything. It was embarrassing.
That's not that bad.
I don't think that's that bad either.
I thought you were going to say she like started her period or something.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad.
Like, I don't know. I don't think
Have you heard any Valentine's horror stories or had a really bad Valentine's Day or anything?
I don't think so. I never really no, I don't think I've ever really had like a big to-do for Valentine's Day, you know?
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
just
really
never really
care
been my
about
thing.
it.
I just always thought it was kind of...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really had like a bad, nothing memorable. What about you?
I think I remember one dude got really mad about how long the line was at like a restaurant and was just
Don't
like
go out on
moody
Valentine's Day.
all fucking night about it. And I was like, yeah, that was my thought. I was like, it's Valentine's Day. Of course every restaurant is going to be booked.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
And it just was so moody. And I was like, I just want to go home.
Just
And then
take
he
me
got
home.
mad at me for wanting to go home. Like, I'm like, you're the one who's being a dick. Like, I just want to end this, please. Put me out of my misery, man. Like, this sucks.
That sucks. Yeah, I don't think I really have anything.
Well, that one story where it was like the couple that said they just do easy things, like get things for homemade sundaes. Or like,
yeah.
that's kind of the stuff that Ryan and I do, is maybe we'll like cook something at home. We don't try to go out.
Yeah.
We used to.
Yeah, we've done it a time or two, but years ago. And usually if we do, it's like not on the day.
Yeah.
Or we'll make something at home, or like we don't do big stuff. I just think it's silly.
It's a Hallmark holiday. It's like, it's consumerism at its best, man. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You should love your person every day.
Yeah. And also, I would never, ever, ever get mad at Todd for like forgetting an anniversary or fucking Valentine's Day. Like, I just don't care.
I know, I don't either.
I don't care that much.
I really don't. Like,
It's not a big deal to me. And I have friends who would like fucking divorce their partner over.
I know. Some people would get pissed about
That's
that
what
shit.
matters to you?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I'm like,
don't
he
get it.
can make it up next year if you're really that.
Like, weird.
It's like, do you really need to have a holiday? Like, why can't you just like go buy yourself roses and then fuck him that night? Like,
Yeah, make it your
when you're
own.
married, I could literally just take Ryan's credit card and go buy myself flowers if I wanted to, and be like, "Thank you, honey."
Yeah. And that's silly too. Like Todd occasionally will like look up flowers just to be nice, and I never expect it, but he's like, flowers for Valentine's Day are like 3 times more.
They are,
And it's
Yeah.
stupid. I'm like,
It's
don't
so
fucking buy
stupid.
that. It's stupid. I don't get it. I don't get why people. It's just silly.
I
And like
think-
girls that are demanding about it. Like that one story you said, he showed up, no flowers, no candy, no card. I'm like, fuck you. Stupid.
Right? Yeah,
Why'd you even answer the door,
Yeah, seriously.
bitch? If that's what you want.
Man, yeah. When I was in high school, it used to be like a huge thing.
I mean, I feel
for
like
the
for
girls.
high school kids, it always it kind of.
But that's
is,
still
you know?
stupid. That's when it starts.
Yeah. Well, you're like indoctrinated to
Yeah.
expect it.
Or like, I remember like the office of my high school would be just like flooded with flowers. And like girls would be like carrying their books and these giant fucking things around.
Guess
just
who
like,
got
This
flowers?
is from my boyfriend, and he goes to so-and-so Southeast, whatever, and he plays football there.
it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care.
It's
No.
like your mom probably sent them to you.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. I don't really have anything big that I remember. What about you, Todd? Like without like before me or anything like goofy or.
I have a uplifting Valentine's
okay.
story. I don't have
Ooh,
anything bad.
Take it.
Okay. Let's
Um,
hear it.
When I was in junior high, 7th grade, I think, like
Okay.
right away. They do the thing in school where you can go buy the flowers
Uh-huh.
on
Like
Valentine's
a carnation
Day.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, like a
So I
flowergram kind of thing?
Did that for a girl that
Oh.
I had a crush on.
Oh.
And I didn't realize that, like, when the delivery was, and it ended, I'd never spoken to this person as such. She was really
Aw.
pretty.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I didn't know that, like, when they were doing it. So they did it when we had a class together. And I was absolutely not expecting that. So I was, like, mortified and just, like, trying to play it off like I didn't see it. 'cause
She
I
looked
didn't
at from Todd and like looked at you.
right, and I didn't want to like
Aw. Huh.
I don't know, like
Like
you
freak
know,
her
like
out.
look
yeah.
at her like
Did you
"Oh."
like it?
I didn't want to elicit any sort of reaction.
Yeah. Oh.
Nothing.
Oh.
So like I wasn't
Aw.
like staring at it the whole time or anything, but never got any sort of response about it at all until about like I don't know 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Uh-huh. Yeah. She messaged me on some social media thing and was like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. You bought me a flower in
What the
7th
fuck?
grade or whatever." She said that was like a turning point for my life and like that was the sweetest thing and it gave me all this confidence and I've like thought about that all the
Wow.
time and I was like mortified and didn't say anything
Oh
to
my
you and I always
God.
felt bad about it and now I'm thanking you for it. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
God. Was she trying to like, hey, you want to take me out?
No. She was married and had kids and
That's so sweet.
I have no idea what like prompted her to reach out.
Oh my God. All that time she remembered it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You never told me that.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I don't think so. I don't think you did. That's so cute.
You wouldn't remember.
You didn't remember him watching The Simpsons.
Shut up, you guys. fuck you both. Fuck both of you.
That is such a sweet
That's
story,
so cute.
though.
Oh my gosh.
That is uplifting.
Give her all this confidence. She's like, a boy likes me? And it's todular?
Oh, it's not.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, now I wish I had something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I mean, I think when the carnations and shit went around, I don't think I ever got one. I don't remember ever like getting attention. I occasionally would get like flowers from like my dad or something. I never really got like attention from boys in school. I was a quiet
I got fingered
loner.
at the movie theater.
You
on
did?
Valentine's Day a few times. Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah.
Oh my. Look at you.
That's what we did.
You
I don't
cinema
know.
slut.
Middle school, high school, you didn't get fingered in the movie theater?
I don't think I got fingered. I made out. I did some making out. I don't think I ever really got like fingered. It was all pretty innocent. Because when I was going to movies and like getting dropped off, I was like 13, 14. I mean, I know you could get fingered at 13 or 14, but I like wasn't instigating it. And yeah, I don't think I ever.
I don't think I was 13.
I
Probably
think
14 or 15, though, I would say.
14. Something like, yeah, maybe 13 was a little early. I think I was probably at 13 with other girlfriends and other boys. Like we would all kind of like go as a group. But I don't think I ever got fingered, no. I think I would have been too scared to be fingered in public. Making out, though, yes. Probably some over the
I don't
clothes.
think I ever did anything like that if there was like someone sitting right next to me. It would have to be a pretty empty theater.
Have you ever given an OTPHJ in the movie theater?
Say it again.
OTPHJ. Over the pants hand job.
Okay, I had to think about it.
A friction
I
job.
have definitely given hand jobs in the movie theater, yeah.
A full-on hand job?
Yeah.
So
Like, took
under
dick
the
out.
pants.
Yeah,
Took dick
yeah,
out.
I took dick out.
Did you like make it shoot on the back of the seat?
Okay, I don't remember that far. But I know I've done it. Definitely did a lot of hand action.
Hand
in
action?
movie theaters,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, some
Well,
heavy
that's what,
petting.
Like all of us teenagers
yeah,
did.
sure. And that's why you went to the movies.
There was always like boob squeezing and
Yes, for sure.
making out.
Yeah.
and
Definitely making out.
I was just the slutty teenager who apparently went
Yeah,
a little too far.
I didn't really. There were definitely. I've thought about this. Like, I put myself in situations that, looking back, like I could have been 100% like taken advantage of and impregnated like really early, but it never. I like was lucky. I never. I'm knocking on wood now, like it fucking matters. I never got like. Because there were times I was like horny and stupid enough that I probably would have like done something really terrible and made a mistake and got pregnant or something. But it never really happened. Nobody ever took advantage. Nobody, like, everybody was really nice to me.
That's good.
Never, it's great. Yeah. But there are times like looking back, like drinking at older boys' houses and shit.
Oh,
like
yeah.
nobody ever touched me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Pretty
wasn't
much the same. Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't try to be slutty. It just never really worked out. Here I am.
And here I am.
My body count
Live
is
to
very
tell
low.
about it.
Live to tell about
I
it.
wish I had a better Valentine's story though, because I
Yeah.
feel like I've heard some funny stories in my time, but
One Valentine's a few years ago, I got Todd a big chocolate dick, and he got mad at me.
oh, I think I remember that. Yeah. I think I remember you telling me about
He
that.
got mad at me, and he was like, "Fuck you," and I ate it because he
And
didn't
then you
want
ate
it. Yeah, he didn't like it.
You didn't
It came
like
in the mail, and he didn't think it was funny.
Aw.
He's laughing now, though. It's funny now.
It was funny how you were like, and he got mad at me.
He did. He didn't think it was funny. I was like, "Come on, man, that's funny. Like objectively, that's funny." And
It
he was
is
like, "I
funny.
don't want that. I don't want it.
Now
I
I
was
kind
like,
of
well,
want to
I
do that
do.
to Ryan and just to see his reaction.
Do it. It's pretty funny."
How expensive is a chocolate
I
dip?
don't remember. Not bad. I mean, this was 5 years ago. Though,
I don't want to
so.
pay more than like $20.
I feel like 20, but shipping and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could probably find it on
Are there
Amazon
any
now.
erotic bakers around here?
I'm sure.
I
Go-
could just
go
make
to-
him one. I could make
Go
him
to
like a dick
Cirilla's
cookie.
and they probably have cookie cutter guys, or the cake pan that looks like a dick,
Yeah.
or
Pretty easy to
like
cut a dick shape
cupcakes
out
or
of a
something.
cake.
Yeah,
I could draw
you
it.
can
I'm
make
sure I
that
can cut
happen.
it.
You can make that happen, and then you could frost it. Oh, that would be
And be like,
epic.
this is you.
That would be epic. Do some frosting jizz in the pan. Oh my god. Take pictures if you do this.
Okay.
If he doesn't like it, make one for me. I'll
Okay.
love it forever.
I almost thought about doing that for your birthday. Try to make you a dick cake, but
That would have been
it
epic.
was just a busy week and I didn't get a chance. But we could always have a dick cake anytime. I
We
mean,
could.
Every day is good for dick cake.
We could. Maybe
That
like
might be a title. Right
maybe
there.
our 100th episode or something, we could have a dick cake.
Aw, I love it.
Dick cake for episode 100. Oh
I like
man.
it.
We're 69. No, we're past 69.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we are.
We're past 69.
I think we're getting close to like 80 or something.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we got a little ways to go. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah, definitely dick cake for episode 100.
I like it. I like
Okay,
it.
I think we are right
Okay.
about at an hour.
Let's do it.
Anything else you want to throw in? Any other Valentine's tidbits?
I don't think so.
Have you seen any Valentine's horror movies before? I can't really think of any off the top
I
of my
don't
head.
think so. I'm sure there are some.
I'm sure there are.
No.
Well, someone was talking about it because
Oh, yeah.
he fingered the girl, but he was gay.
But it was at a Valentine's horror movie?
I thought that's what he said.
Oh,
My Bloody Valentine.
My Bloody Valentine. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I don't know that I've seen that, so I don't know
I
what
don't
it's
know if I
about.
have either.
It sounds like a Valentine's horror movie.
Guess. Hats up.
Checks out.
Okay, well, I guess that wraps it up.
Wraps
if
it
you
up.
guys have any Valentine's horror stories, we want to
in.
hear them.
Send good ones, bad ones, whatever you
Yeah.
got.
Like, did you
buy
accidentally
anybody-
impregnate somebody?
That's not, in my opinion, that's a terrible Valentine's
That is
Day.
it is a Valentine's horror story.
Truly.
Did you catch somebody cheating on you on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
That's usually probably the worst.
Yeah, for sure.
What is the worst thing
Did
that
you
could
get
happen to
dog
you?
shit rubbed on your bed for Valentine's
Oh
Day?
yeah, that was probably the best one though out of the story.
The best / worst one.
Yeah, it was the best. I didn't. Poor Adam. Adam's shitty Valentine's
Ah, my shitty Valentine's.
Day. Well, at least he learned his lesson. Don't date an ex's best friend.
That's, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a good rule.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
They may say they're okay with it, but they never are. It's always a lie.
It's always
It's always a lie.
Always.
Always. It really is. All right. We will see you guys next week. Send us emails of your horrible Valentine's stories. We want to hear them. thegoryholepod@gmail.com. And don't forget to recommend our YouTube or our podcast to your friends and hit those 5 stars wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yes.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
Hope you get
VD.
laid.
Hope you get
Hope you get your
hope you
dick
get
sucked.
poked.
Yeah.
Hope you get however you like to nut. I hope that's how you nut today.
Oh, that's like the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
However you like to
However
nut.
you like to nut. As long as it's
Even
not
if
hurting
it's
anybody
solo,
else.
I hope you get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're not hurting anybody else, I hope you get it however you want it. That's my wish for you.
I hope for the female gore whores, I hope they get their clits sucked.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you like.
I want them to get their.
I can't imagine you
I
wouldn't
want
like
their
that.
pearl to be polished.
Wow, that's good.
Thank you.
Polish that pearl.
Polish that pearl.
Yeah, okay. Very nice.
All right, we'll see you guys
Okay.
next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Stay gory.